It is the worst letter a British gun owner can get. Here is Gareth Davis. You may remember him. He accidentally shot himself in the arm while out foxing, getting not just his official firearm certificate revocation, but a notice that Gwent Police plans to destroy the guns, the ammunition, and even the expensive thermal optics they seized from him.
Please note that Gwent Police cannot retain your property indefinitely at the expense of the public purse.
We did a film with Gareth and his friend Mark about the accident, which took place in Gloucestershire in January 2024. The film showed how Gloucestershire Police not only exonerated Mark and Gareth, but suggested that Mark should be put up for an award. The pair of them live in Gwent, and that's not how Gwent Police reacted.
Once we'd done the film, within a day or two of the film being made, I had a phone call off Cumbrae Police to say that they was now starting to deal with the actions of what had been done. And I've been corresponding with various police officers, trying to find out what's going on, and they keep on referring the incident to a higher person, which they've never got in contact with us. You know, I sent her emails. She reckoned she didn't receive the emails. I phoned on numerous occasions and asked her to phone back, and she hasn't rung back.
Now we know why. Gwent Police was trying to find a reason to take away his firearms, as they have with dozens of shooters locally. It is a gun owner witch hunt. In Gareth's case, it is Gwent Police's contention that it is impossible for a gun to go off if you drop it. Gwent Police says that the only way a gun can go off is if someone pulls the trigger. Therefore, Gareth must be lying when he says that he accidentally shot himself with his rifle in the way he did. Gwent Police is already making mistakes in its revocation. It listed 5 items belonging to Gareth that it plans to destroy. However, the receipt it gave him when it seized his guns and ammunition shows only 4 items. Gwent Police has added a box of 2.2 ammunition to his inventory. If Gareth feels hard done by, it is nothing to the man who saved his life, his buddy Mark Wise. Gwent Police called Mark into a police station for a voluntary interview.
Well, they gave me an interview with a solicitor, said that he was cautioning me for fraud over my doctor's reports, and I said, well, I haven't done no fraud.
Thanks to the transparent nature of the British legal process, Gwent Police made it clear to Mark at the time that he can have a recording of the interview. Unfortunately, they did not make it available to him. Fortunately, he found his own way around that.
I put my phone on the table, and they said that when the interview was finished, that I will have the tape. And when the interview did finish, they didn't give me the tape, and I recorded it myself.
Mark has a duty solicitor for his interview who advises him to say no comment throughout. Wouldn't this be a good time to set the record straight? No, says the solicitor. What the police are trying to do is find discrepancies between what Mark told Gloucestershire Police in January and what he tells Gwent Police now. Here is the recording of the solicitor explaining that to Mark.
They know they've had your account, they've had Gary's account, right?
Yeah.
If you describe it any little bit different, they'll say, well, hang on a minute, you said to Gloucester Police back in January, ABC. Now you're trying to say that it's D, E, F and G, right? Well, that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately, they'll use that as evidence against you. Because why is your story changing?
Mark sticks to that advice like a limpet.
Would you like to tell us what you did that evening?
No comment.
Okay. Can you confirm that you're a current firearms certificate holder?
No comment.
When you went out that evening, it was about 8 o'clock, I believe, that you left your house to pick Gareth Davis up. Is that correct?
No comment.
Okay. How friendly are you with Gareth Davis?
No comment.
You can hear the police getting more and more frustrated. It's a brave thing for Mark to do. We naturally want to help the police, but in this case they are against a gun owner who has passed societal tests to have a gun certificate since he was 17 years old, who is a better citizen than other citizens. Out in the field, Mark is law-abiding. In the police station, Mark has to obstruct. His relationship with the police has to flip from helpful to unhelpful, even though he is officially a good citizen. Here is the solicitor demolishing the police's line that because Mark didn't mention in his application 2 medical conditions, Paget's disease and a stroke, even though Mark's doctor does mention them, that Mark has committed fraud.
If the doctor's got no concerns and he's
No.
provided the doctor details,
What
he believes that it doesn't affect his ability to have a
What he
license.
has to do is he has to tell us about it on his application form.
Where? He doesn't think that it's relevant. He's given you doctor's details and he doesn't think it's relevant either.
It's one of the ones, it is a listed condition. I'll actually get the form off.
Well, you have to show us a listed condition then.
You are, I'll get it for you now.
Where the illness he referred to is hereditary in my family, which I've had all my life, which is called Paget's disease, which I've had my license all the time on that. And the second one was a stroke 10 years ago, which I've still had my license, still twice since then.
Any other physical or mental or combination of conditions which you may think be relevant? So if he says that he doesn't believe it to be relevant, where does it say, in there, where does it say that a stroke is mandatory for him to divulge to licensing?
Well, that's what I need him to say to me.
No. This interview isn't for him to defend himself. It's for, the question was put, why didn't he?
All right, we'll wait for the officer to come back. We'll go on with it now. And
Because no.
do you want that there now?
I want that there, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you believed that it was a question, you know, even though you
Thank you
said
very much.
information about poaching and being on land that he's not authorised to be on, and was he on land not authorised to be on at the time of the incident, knowing full well you were in possession of evidence to prove that he was, and he did have permission, you indicated in this form that he is duty bound to provide evidence in relation to the stroke. And in number 5 there, doesn't mention stroke whatsoever. However you want to interpret that bit there is down to you. It doesn't say stroke.
The police give Mark a thorough grilling on whether he might have been poaching. There's a lot in there designed to catch Mark out, and the police can't find the form where it lists the condition. There are bigger questions than simply whether a police force has made a few mistakes. Helping the police with your application puts you in a catch-22 situation. In order to take part in a voluntary interview, Mark has to accept a caution. Many police forces use your acceptance of a caution as a reason in itself to refuse a gun certificate. They also ask Mark questions about his ability to earn an income, which is one way of finding out if he can afford £20,000 for an appeal against the police revoking his certificate.
I think that's the road they're going down. They're hoping that people will drop the appeal against them for financial reasons, which I believe that's what's happening with people.
Mark had the same letter as Gareth. That tries to put him in another impossible situation. It says he either has to collect his guns in 3 weeks' time, even though they have revoked his certificate, or someone with a firearms certificate has to get a load of variations for them, which is impossible in the time frame, or he is forced to authorise the police to destroy them.
I've had a letter stating either get my guns from the police station by the 3rd of December, or they can destroy them or put them on somebody else's licence, which I only phoned on Friday, and they turned me in no way that I can have my guns back until this court case is over.
The good news for Mark is that the police threat to destroy his guns and other shooting kit is unlawful. They are his property. They seized them, they have to look after them, and one day return them in the same condition they took them. Police like to threaten to destroy guns. Here is barrister Peter Glenser explaining the law on that point at the Carter Jonas Game Fair Theatre this summer.
You may not have a ticket, but you still own the gun.
Back to Gareth, the original victim of the accident, and he thinks that Gwent Police is acting grossly unfairly.
Mark had been fighting his case since the accident. Like I said, I feel very sorry for Mark at the moment because, I mean, he does this all his life. That's all he does. It's his hobby, and you know, he didn't even get his guns out of the vehicle that night. He saved my life, and you've had his licence revoked as well.
I knew something like this was going to happen because they're trying to take my guns off me for no reason at all. I've had my guns all my life, and I can't see why I should lose my guns over saving somebody's life.
If it's Gwent Police's contention that nobody with a medical condition can have a gun certificate, it may bump into Team GB Paralympic shooting, among others. If Gwent Police is trying to ban poor people from shooting sports, it may run into bigger problems. If it's Gwent Police's desire to ban gun ownership in its constabulary, perhaps it should come out and say so. And if you live in Gwent and you are worried about this case, please write to the Chief Constable and the local Police and Crime Commissioner. Email addresses below.